We'd like to welcome Joe Manley to the Sports Connection. He's a senior offensive lineman for the Bowling Green Purples. Joe, welcome to the show.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Joe, how you doing? Good to see you.
Pretty good. How about yourself?
We're doing fantastic.
Joe, training camp underway for you guys. I know this time of year's got to be exciting for all these players. I know that has to include you, too. How much are you looking forward for the season?
I'm ready to get things started, ready to start hitting some people, get ready for the upcoming season. Hit the Radford East Bowl at Western. We play Manual at home for our first scrimmage, so it should be interesting.
Now, Joe, you know, on top of everything else, and I know that you've been very busy on the recruiting front, and you know, we cover a lot of student athletes that have gone through the process that you've gone through, and obviously you've decided to kind of announce where you're going, but just kind of take us through that process of what it's been like maybe the last 12 months of being recruited and having the opportunity to go to different schools and go through that process.
Well, it doesn't hurt to start early. I started back in 8th grade. I went to a camp at Austin P, and me and one of my friends went down there. My dad took us, and it was an enjoyable experience. We were going against a bunch of people that were in high school, so we were a lot younger, and you just learn different skills and how to do different things whenever you go to the camps. And as you progress through, you go to the combines, the invite camps, the Under Armour stuff, and eventually you just go against people that are better than you, and you just learn to adapt to the different situations that you're put in front of.
You know, I want to talk a little bit about last year's team. I know that's maybe a sour point to talk about a little bit. I mean, I know you guys didn't get where you wanted to go, but tough loss to Christian County, obviously, and the way it ended. How much do you think about that game, and how much does that motivate you going into this fall?
Every time we go out there, we want to be better than we ever could.
Yeah, and of course, you know, being a senior, you want to go out. You know, you guys have been very close to that state championship ring, and obviously that's got to be a goal of yours this year. You've got, we talked off here a little bit, you've got a lot of senior leadership coming back. You've got a large team. I mean, you've got a lot of depth. Kind of talk about your team this year and kind of how you see it unfolding.
Well, we've been playing together for the most part for 5 or 6 years since we started back in the junior high, so there's a lot of chemistry between a lot of the players. And I think we all watch each other's backs and perform well on the field together because we know each other's strengths and each other's weaknesses, and we know to pick each other up when one's down. So it should be interesting. Everybody's looking forward to the start of it.
You say you've got about 17 starters coming back this year, upwards of 30 seniors. I mean, those are some alarming numbers. When you know that going into a season, that's got to make you feel pretty confident that you guys are going to have a good product on the field.
We'll be as good as we can. If we try hard, we should be pretty good, but it all comes down to how we want to work and how we perform.
Now, Joe, you're an offensive lineman. 6'7", 6'8".
6'7", 6'6", something like that.
Okay, and 3 and change?
Yes, sir.
I'm an offensive lineman. I mean, I love offensive linemen. That's where it all starts, and it all starts and ends right there in the trenches. But you know, you're a big guy. What is it like? I mean, do you hear comments from opposing, you know, defensive linemen when they have to line up against you? That can't be real pleasurable.
Well, you don't really hear that many comments before the play, but there's always people talking after the play. So there's a bunch of mixed change comments that you hear. Usually, if you keep your mouth shut, you keep yourself from getting penalties. So, you know, you hear a bunch of stuff, but usually none of it's too bad.
Is there anything that you can tell us on television?
I wouldn't go that far. There's been some stuff exchanged before, but if you keep your mouth clean, you keep everything positive, then nothing can go wrong.
Joe, talk about what are some of the things that you did in the off season this year to you know, improve in the areas that you want to improve in, and what are some of those areas?
My feet, my footwork. I got to get faster off the ball. There's a lot more faster and skilled people that we'll be going up against this year. So I got to be able to adjust to the blitzes, and my strength, I'm trying to get a lot stronger upper body and lower body, and our coach Spader, he's been giving us a pretty good weight program, and our offensive line coach has been helping a lot with our footwork, so it should be interesting.
No, you look at your schedule, and Bowling Green has never shied away from having a difficult schedule, and this is the same. You've got some pretty interesting games on the slate this year. St. X on the schedule. Obviously, you've got the rematch with Warren Central, which is an every year thing. Is there any game on the calendar that you, and I'm sure you know the schedule, that you maybe have circled or that you look forward to maybe more than the others?
I look forward to all the games because I love going out on Fridays and competing. But Henderson County is going to be good. Allen County is going to be good. Just about everybody on our schedule is going to be pretty good. So if we don't bring it every week, then it'll be a rough game.
Talk a little bit about that opening game, the Rafferty's Bowl. I mean, that's a great place to start, and it's an even better place to finish your season because that's where they hold the state championship. That ought to be an exciting game from the standpoint, from a fan's perspective, because Allen County is going to bring the entire community to that game. And Bowling Green, you guys got a great fan base as well. It's got to be fun to play in that environment, I would imagine.
Yes, sir, it always is. The biggest game I could remember was the Allen County game when they played in the state championship last year. They filled the entire new side of Western Stadium up, and that place was rocking for the state championship. It's a great place to start the season. It's a great place to finish the season. I'd say it's going to be a rather versatile environment because everybody's going to be hyped up, ready for the game, and we haven't played each other in a couple years, so it should be interesting. I'd say it's going to be a really good game. It'd be a good one to come out and watch.
Well, Joe, we're going to ask you to stick around for a few more minutes. We'll have more with Joe on the other side of the break. Stick around. You're watching the Sports Connection on WBKO.